Hey guys, Crystal here, and we're doing another tag video. Honestly, I'm really loving these sort of videos. I might do more in the future, who knows. The last tag video I did above my head, there'll be a card. The D&D tag one was so much fun to do. This tag is created and brought to you by Strig, Devacia, Katie, and Wallace. Their channels are going to be down below. Their videos will probably be down below them. I wasn't tagged directly by anyone. I just really wanted to do it because, like I said before, I kind of like these tag videos. This tag is for you if you want to talk about your main characters in a way that isn't super spoily and stuff. To be real, I've been kind of wanting to talk about my project for like ages because I'm super passionate, but sometimes I get super passionate and bordering on annoying, and I'm kind of like a hyper chihuahua whenever I talk about my work. So, talking about my characters seems kind of like the less spectrum chihuahua-y jumping of that, and I get to talk about my work. Maybe we should get started. So, there are 8 questions, and these questions can help you plot, plan, and possibly even scheme your way through character development, and help you get to know your wonderful fiction or writer babies. Did that sound weird to anyone else, or was it just me? Anyway, question number 1. What is your main character's name? How did you, the author, choose the name, and how does your main character feel about their name? My character is Elizabeth Rainson. Her first name kind of has a little bit of a history, because this character has been 18 years in the making. And originally it was Beatrice Morgana. Then I thought that sounded funny, so I shortened it, thinking Betty was a Beatrice nickname, so I named it Betty. So the character's name was Betty Morgana. And then I was told that Betty is actually an Elizabeth short name, so I changed the Betty name to Elizabeth. For a while, her name was Elizabeth Morgana. This was during the plotting and the writing process. I changed it again when I decided to change the character's history, which gives her a relation to one of the other families that's in the story, which is the Raynor family. And in my headcanon, her direct family starts changing the name down the line. The Rainson name, not gonna lie, is a work in progress. I'm still debating whether or not I keep it, whether I stick with Raynor. There's reasons, and much of them are spoilery. As to how Elizabeth herself feels about that name, for her, she doesn't really think too much of it. A name is a name. And she doesn't really know anything about her history or other members of her family, so she doesn't know the importance of that name one way or another. So it's never really come up to her thoughts. Question 2. What is your character's zodiac sign? Even if they live in a fantasy world, everyone has a sign. My character is a Taurus. Strong-willed and stubborn as the day is long. She's loyal almost to a fault, and she loves with every part of her being, especially when it comes to her little sister. If anyone comes at her little sister in any way, someone is going to have a bad day. She's also very responsible, very provider-y. Like, she is the rock of everything. Question 3. What is your main character's relationship with the people or persons that have raised them? Elizabeth loved her parents. When she was in her teens, she lost them. She had to raise herself and her little sister. The family that she does have doesn't even know she exists before the book begins. She doesn't really have a relationship anymore, but when she did, her parents were very important and family was very important, and that kind of just transferred over to her sister and kind of expanded. Like, it became the focal point of her being. Question 4. What is your MC's, or main character's, most important memory prior to the start of the book/series? The most important memory was the day her parents died. That was the day everything changed for her. Her sister was super young, and Elizabeth was just starting college when it all happened. Her sister was at the event, but thankfully she survived. And it was her responsibility to step up and care for both herself and her little sister. They had no other family, and it drove home her already providery, family-based nature. They are all each other has. Question 5. If your character walked into a library, what section would they head to first? Now, in my head, my character isn't so much of a reader because she doesn't really have time to actually sit down and read a book. She barely has time for movies or anything else like that unless her sister is, demanding sister time. And, any movie she watches, it's usually hanging out with her sister. So I think if my character would walk into a library, she would head over to the computers. Also because they don't have one of their own. She would do whatever work she had in college or whatever, but she would also be always picking her sister up at the library because that's where her sister spent most of her time doing her schoolwork and things like that. Question number 6. Would your character survive the Oregon Trail? What I do know about the Oregon Trail is the video game. Now, it's a text-based adventure, so I would want to say, based on my game knowledge, probably not. She would try to survive out of sheer spite, spit, and vinegar, but would make sure her sister was okay more than herself. And if her sister was in any danger whatsoever, she would do everything in her power to help her sister, possibly risking her own life in the process. Question number 7. What would your character ask for if they made a deal with a crossroads demon? I kind of this question was the question I was the most excited for out of all the questions, even though all the questions are super awesome, is because I'm a big Supernatural fan. So in my head canon, my character has just tried to make a deal with Crowley. So, okay. Like a lot of the other questions kind of imply, she would ask for her sister to be set for life. With what happens in the beginning of the story, eventually Elizabeth comes to the realization that she can't keep her sister safe forever. So she would ask for her sister to never come to harm, to be always protected, that she remains safe from any external force, supernatural or otherwise, demons, vampires, blah, 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 and that she would have enough money to do whatever she wanted to be comfortable up until her death. So there's that. Now, if we're talking about supernatural crossroads demons, that can be so twisted and Kira dies. That's my other character. That's the sister's name. Whoops. That she dies pretty quick because, it's a deal, but crossroads demons are very tricksy. Question number 8. What would your character think about on their deathbed? She would really have a life flashing before her eyes sort of moment. She would look back on everything that's happened between when all the events started that would have eventually have led to her death, the death itself, and everything in between. She would worry about the fact that if her sister would be okay when she was gone. She would think about her parents and everything she could remember, and yeah, I feel like those are kind of standard answers for, on the deathbed, thinking about past mistakes. What could she have done better to make sure she didn't end up in this situation? And that brings us to the end of the video. I had a lot of fun doing this. The other tag video that I've done, and I kind of want to do more of these in the future. Let me know if you guys want to see this sort of content, because I make content for you to enjoy. If you want to do these sort of questions, I'm going to link them down below as well. And I tag you, the universe, to do them. Comment down below if you got anything to say. I like conversations, they're fun. Like this video if you liked it. Share this video with your friends if you feel like it. Anyway, I love you all very, very much. And we will see you next time in the next video. Or we'll see you on Twitch on Mondays or Wednesdays. Until then, goodbye!